Are you ready? It is Sunday, Beauty Mind time. Usually we do these on Mondays. We're trying Sunday today. What's up, Allison? How you
Trying
feeling?
Sunday. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I like the idea of Sunday. Listen, whether we're at the end of the week, at the beginning of the week, whatever we can do and to get people, whatever we can do to get people aligned and moving forward efficiently is really what we're after at the end of the day. And we've been in the game with this Beauty Mind membership for 4 months, maybe three
Yeah, I was
months,
going to say
something
three
like
or four
that.
months.
Yeah, so this is a trying effort for us as well because every time we want to show up and continue with the consistency, but we want to evolve with you all as we go. So if you have any feedback on a day that we should do these more often, or whatever the future looks like to really maximize these, because we of course we do them live, but then we put them on YouTube afterwards. Please let us know.
Yeah,
And
we'd love to have
yeah.
more live viewers because then we can interact with the comments. So it gives people an opportunity to ask questions and maximize the webinar. So it's great to have live viewers, but of course it's great to be able to watch it afterwards too.
For sure, for sure. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. But today we're going to be talking about, let me bring this up. And yeah, we're going to be speaking about this new social media strategy and if you are ready or not. So, what we're kind of calling this as we're seeing things evolve is this multi-account strategy to ensure that you are evolving as the internet is evolving as well. So this is something that we've tried in the past when the algorithms were different, and now as we're seeing things evolve, we want to start evolving our content as well. And
It's funny when you say multiple account, most people probably think business and personal is what we're going to talk about, but that's not what we're talking about at all.
No. So with this multi-account per platform, what we are talking about is the fact that you want to, instead of only putting content on one account, you want to split up the styles of content per the styles of content go on different accounts. So in this ever evolving world of social media, we've been trying different kinds of content to see what's going to do best. And based on the interest graph, right? We talked about this in the past, but if you aren't familiar, and this is also on the newsletter, if you aren't familiar, the current algorithm is built on an interest graph. So when you put content out there on these vertical videos, it's going to show it to people that it thinks will find it interesting based on the algorithm, based on their interests and everything, and then also based on the hashtags that you use to then throw it in the right direction. So that is the current algorithm. So if we're putting content on our specific platform, however, there's different styles that we're adding to that, it could potentially confuse the interest graph. So now we're creating different accounts for different styles of content, but your brand is at the core of that. So the ones that we had in the newsletter, the thoughts were basically, doing like a behind the scenes reality show style, it could be like The Office or what have you, to make it feel like you're showing the personalities of your team. It could be a podcast style content, could be a separate one. And one could be educational. There's so many different styles of content, but rather than just putting it on one platform, you would split that into multiple accounts.
Yeah, back in the day when we first opened our second location, we were like, okay, we'll have Salon Bellevue Plymouth and then Salon Bellevue Livonia. But then it was like, this is silly. We should just have one salon page. It's all the same business. So
right.
Technically it's two different businesses, but we run them as if we're one big team. So that's when we decided to do just one, Bellevue page on Instagram. But we had this other account. So we changed that to Bellevue Babes and we made that account just for team. So that was like my hiring page. That was my recruiting page. That was the page that I would give the beauty schools to follow and see if they, were interested in joining the team. It was the one that showcased our team. So we would just post pictures of everyone that worked for us, whether it was like front desk, stylists, estheticians, whoever it was, we just post them on there. And it was like their outfits and, just like their hairstyles or just them in groups, them hanging out. And it was really beneficial. I would say the reason I stopped doing it was probably, I probably just got sick of running two accounts by myself. But I think that was, I think about 7 years ago that we were doing that. But now, because social media has evolved so much and so many people are useful with it, like they know how to do it in the salon, and a lot of salons are hiring social media managers, you could definitely maximize this. It's not just the owner doing it. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah, and we've, the thought that we've put behind this in the past for Mastermind Media was we started creating Mastermind Sports and Mastermind Music. Mastermind Music almost has more followers than Mastermind Media does, and it has only been around for like a couple years. So what our thought with all of those digital brands was to create brands with the same core identity of motivation, motivating people and inspiring them to become their best selves through music. So it's a lot of entertainers talking about how they came up in the game and what worked for them and what their mindset is. Same thing in the world of sports. So our core identity was the same, but we were telling it through different lenses. So now, as this strategy is evolving, because that wasn't the idea within the strategy at that point, it was like, let's continue to inspire people and motivate them through these different lenses, but to bring attention back. But it wasn't predicated on the fact that the interest graph is evolving, right? So now that we have this in mind, and that's why it's so important to be in the know about these things, because otherwise, as the game changes, these are like the breadcrumbs or like the bridges to the next algorithms, right? So if we're staying at the forefront of attention and we understand what's going on and seeing what's working for other people, then we can continue to evolve with it. And yes, this does come with more work potentially, right? But we have teams for a reason that you can lean on to be able to maximize this. And just because we're saying do a reality style show, it doesn't for this one particular kind of content. It could literally be 30 seconds shot on an iPhone. A client walks in and talks to the front desk. Maybe it's only showcasing the front desk, and then one stylist going up to the front desk to have a conversation. And whatever the typical conversation is, we just use the ways of the television and we just expand on that or just enhance that a bit. So if there's somebody at your salon that always comes up there and has something to say about X, Y, and Z, then now we take that and we put a magnifying glass on that and we just have
amplify it a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's so that's like the current world. That's what's going on. So we want to find a simple yet creative way to do this as we're testing out these multi-platform or multi-accounts on per platform, because the idea is at any point a video can really take off. And if we have these separate accounts that really are creating their own For You page based on their style of content and attracting a certain kind of person, then we can maximize that page, and your salon is still attached to that page in some fashion. So we don't want to lose the brand in that either.
Yeah, I just had a friend who has 2 salons invite me to join her private education page. So she now has, her salon is called Gloss. It's in Ohio. And now she has, I believe it's just Gloss EDU or like Salon Gloss EDU or something like that. And it's a private page, and I haven't totally dove into it yet, but I'm not quite sure how to get on you have to get accepted basically. And so I think it's probably controlling that it's only stylists following it maybe. Or maybe it's like invite only sort of a thing. But it's really cool to see like her already doing kind of what we're talking about, like expanding into having these different platforms, or pages to the platform. What do you remember that salon? What's the name of it that I shared you with the team? That's like super funny, and it's like all behind the scenes stuff, and they're just like hanging out in the salon. Do you remember the name of it?
Yeah. It was really sad. I forget the name of it, but yeah, we follow them on Mastermind Beauty.
I think they might do that. I don't know that that's their main salon page. They don't post any hair on it at all.
Right.
They are
I think that is the case.
Yeah, so they're an mainly extension salon, and they have a really loud, funny team. Everybody has really big personalities. The owner, the stylist, the assistants, everybody's really animated. And they all have their own personalities. And so like everybody, you kind of have a favorite. Like you kind of have like a character that you like on the show. And it is that way. You just go through their videos and it's all just entertainment of behind the scenes. And then I'm sure they have a salon page too. But the algorithm is not pushing that to me. So I would have never found them if they didn't have another page that I see that I was like swiping through all the time and being like, who are these girls that keep popping up on my page? And then I followed them, but other people are seeing their probably hair account. So it's like,
and
because of the interest
you're
graph.
getting their attention. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one landed in my direction, but I'm sure other people are seeing the other page, the hair page, the salon one. So
Yeah.
it's really
And
interesting.
one of the ways that we're looking at this for Mastermind Media as well is we saw this other private jet company that was having people come in. It felt like The Office style of content, but it would be like it's mainly one guy and like their clients are calling in to book a private jet for like crazy reasons, like they want a Philly cheesesteak delivered to them in Texas from Philly. So like they spent like $25,000 to pick it up and have it sent to them. But it's the interactions, and most of them are fabricated, but it feels kind of real. And he breaks the fourth wall, and it got me thinking that based on Mastermind Media, we've built such a huge following within the world of motivation. However, I believe that if we evolve our followers to people that are hearing more about our services more often, our logos and branding and graphic design and social media content and commercial production, all of that, then we can create fabricated situations that highlight our actual services and products. So now that'll get us more attention, and it still allows us to be ourselves within that. And I'll create a separate page maybe for Mastermind Motivation. And just because we want to evolve, we don't want to just get like, well, we've always done this, so let's only do this. It's like, what is a simple and creative way that we can start putting out content that's a different experience to see what happens, to see if we can do this. And the trick is getting ahead of the game, getting a few weeks ahead to be able to put in the amount of effort, put the team around you to actually get this stuff done. So these ideas of like a reality style show or a podcast page or a educational page, these are just scratching the surface. These are just 3 ideas that as we were writing the newsletter, we're like, okay, here's 3 different ways that we see that you can break your content up for your salon. But there are so many other ways. Maybe the founders,
you could have, there's so many salons that specialize in extensions now or want to specialize in extensions. They could have a page dedicated to extension transformations. They could have a bridal page. They could have, I'm just gonna use my salon, Bella V Bridal, and then be the bridal team going to, different on location events and brides and things like that. And then have, the Bella V extensions or extension transformation page. And then that's just extension information and how to maintain your extensions and what products to use on them, like just extensions. And then, like you said, a podcast page, a page to showcase your team, maybe the founders page. That's like, I love it. And it's like, how do I say this? Like right now we say don't have a business page and a personal page because you'll neglect one or the other because you're like constantly deciding what to put on what page. But this is like create business content and then put it in under, when you click Instagram and all the pages pop up, find the one it fits in. And that's where it gets posted. It's not like post more or less. It's like, you're just filling in all these pages now and popping it where it goes, where it fits.
And this is I think we need to look at this as like a fun transformation or a fun evolution. Yeah. The fact that you get to show a different side of your personality. And we're not saying start it from scratch or only just you have to come up with a TV show like right off the bat. It's like, go look at the other styles of content that are out there and see how you can steal like an artist and take from them and develop your own thing. You do not need to reinvent the wheel with this. But you do need to be more efficient because it's a little bit more work to kind of think down these lanes. And maybe you're not the person to really think down that lane and you need to lean on your team. That's why we love the idea of having a team. Bring in some more of those other people to say, what do you guys think? Have at your next team meeting. Let's see how we can maximize this, or get ideas from ChatGPT. Put in these different prompts, different topics you could speak about, and even set up the scene, have it set up scenes for you and evolve it as you go. But definitely all of this needs to come from the core for who you are, who your brand is, and what the personalities on your team are.
Yeah. I see this being the thing that makes people realize that you can't just post hair. Yeah. Like you can have a page that you just post hair, And now you need to create the other pages and create the other content for those pages and watch how those ones take off more than your hair page. No one cares about hair anymore. They want to see the personality behind the chair. We've been saying that for years, but now is the time to really maximize that and stop playing small and stop just filling the hair page with a little bit of people and then a lot of hair. Now you have multiple pages.
I did social media. I did it. I'm done. Like,
Tick,
we need to
posted my blonde
evolve with
today.
the world. And I think
Yeah.
the reason that most people aren't ready to jump fully in is because they still allow social media to be an afterthought or the last thought or the last item on the list. I'm
Mhm.
running my business and I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and I have to order all the color and the team's finally doing well. Okay, cool. I'll get to social media now. Instead of having social media be one of your top 2 priorities to ensure that you're pushing things in the right direction, getting as much attention as possible to ensure that you're able to grow efficiently, grow your team efficiently, grow your books efficiently as well.
Yeah, I just had a team member sat down with her the other day and we were talking about social media and I was saying, she's in our training program, so she's just getting started. And I said, when I go to your page, you look like a beauty school student because you haven't posted in the salon very much. So it looks to me like you're new and that would deter me.
Yeah.
And she totally agreed. And she said, I want to post this reel that I have myself, but I feel like I need to post some hair first. And it just made me realize how in our way people can get trying to make sure the feed is perfectly laid out when in reality, no one is looking at your page that way. They're not even seeing your content in chronological order. They're not seeing it and noticing what day it was posted. They don't know if it was posted 5 days ago or 1 day ago or 3 in one day. They don't know. They're not looking at when it was posted. So it's like, we want everything to be laid out so perfectly. And I'm not going to post that because I already posted it. And I'm not going to do this because I just posted a red or I just talked about that. And, I haven't posted hair yet. So I need to do that first. And it's like, stop.
Yeah.
Create
Just go.
the content people want to see and post it. And then you will grow.
And try new things, get out of your own way. And that's actually reminds me of this company. I heard about them maybe last month. Mr. Beast was talking to them and they found that they're over 30 million followers on Instagram now, and they're called Instant Bollywood, and it's like a paparazzi style thing. And they found out that when they posted 100 times a day, that was the huge thing that unlocked for them. And most people are like, oh, I don't want to put too much out there or whatever. Like, I'm worried that what if I put the same thing or whatever. You look at these people's page, they post 100 times a day on Instagram and I believe TikTok and the other platforms, but they grew to over 30 million. I think they're like 32 million now. And so obviously they built a team, they built a strategy to be able to do that, but they cross-pollinate, they recycle content to see how much they can get out there to see what takes off. And now all of their videos, 200,000, 200 million, 1 million, it's like, it's all over the place, but it's a lot of attention because they've built something that's consistently feeding the algorithm and in the feed and their followers. So you never know who you're hitting. And guess what? Only 10% of your followers actually see your posts. Stop worrying about what they're thinking, put out content, add value, the end, and try some different strategies within this.
I've never, ever, ever, ever looked at someone's content and noticed if they posted multiple times a day, unless they're an educator and they said it and they said their strategy. I've never, ever, ever noticed that before. And it's crazy to me because that's stopping a lot of people from posting multiple times a day or a week because they're like, well, I don't want to look like I post too much. And it's like, literally no one knows how often you post. Just because they see your content every day is not going to tell them that you post a lot. They're just going to think you're showing up a lot on their algorithm because of whatever reason Instagram wants them to. And it's just like, so crazy how in our way we get.
Yeah. You ever see when you see a video goes viral, you go to their actual page and you have to swipe a few times to see which one is dimmed down, so that was the last one you just saw.
Yeah,
like the last scene one. Sometimes it's way down there. Then you want to look for the part 2 or part 3. Stop worrying about it. Nobody's looking. Just stay on offense.
Yeah, people are not digging. They're not digging. They do not care. Unfortunately, people do not care. Like
Yeah.
we wish they cared more about our content, but they don't. So you have to be loud and consistent and frequent, and then you will be seen, and then you can grow, and then you can, like you said, use this strategy to create totally different types of content than you're used to creating now, and just put your team, put yourself out there, and get the attention of all different types of people. Get the attention of people that want to work in your salons. Get the attention of people who want extensions. Get the vivids, right? Like vivids are really huge. The fashion colors.
Yeah.
There could be a special page for that. A lot of salons specialize in vivids now. So having like your stylists who are really into that put their content on that page, it would be amazing. You're going to end up in the
Absolutely.
people's feed that are constantly searching like pink hair, rainbow hair. That's where you're going to end up. But it can be confusing to the algorithm to be posting it all on one page. And then it's like, oh, this is going to like people with fancy hair. Oh, this is going to people that work in the industry. This is going to people who are in Plymouth, Michigan. It's like too much, too many different outlets, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing now, and that's why this new strategy is emerging into the world of social media. You see, like Complex has like Complex Sports, Complex Music, like all these different things, and they all have a strategic target demographic within that.
Yeah.
So we hope that you take this into consideration and also start to see it elsewhere, because that's part of this whole game plan. Is that we want you to stay at the forefront of attention, at the forefront of the evolution of all of these different platforms, so that as the world is changing and as digital media is changing, you're right at the front of it. You're not, miles and miles back like you've been probably for the last 15 years. And that's like our big message today.
Yeah, we're staying ahead. We're not falling behind anymore. And we're going to try the new strategies without waiting for everyone else to try them first
Yeah.
and stay ahead of the game.
Get in the game. Get in the game. And so, yeah, and if you are watching this and you are not part of our Beauty Mind membership yet, there is a link in the description. And it was Robin. Love this. Going to do ASAP. Looking forward to seeing some content your way. And yes, if you're not part of the Beauty Mind membership, you can add that from the description. And yeah, I'm really loving the newsletter that comes out on Saturday, and then us like amplifying that on these webinars too. So we hit them with like a reassurance that they are aligned with everything and like are in the know about these kind of topics, and then we amplify it on our webinar. So we'll see how this Sunday one goes, see if that or Monday is better, or maybe a different day of the week. But yeah,
feels like a good flow.
Absolutely. And we're lining up some special guests coming up soon too on these different webinars. So look out for that. And we're also getting a lot of new dates for 2025 on the calendar. So we'll be putting our new calendar up for the months ahead.
Of dates coming up. So
yes. All right. Amazing. Well, have a great Sunday. We appreciate you all watching. Leave some comments if you have them, or you can put them in the member chat on the Beauty Mind membership. And we'll see you all very, very soon.
Next week.
All right.